Treasure Island, Part 2. Preparations for the journey. Continue, focusing on gathering the crew. Jim eagerly waits under the watch of Red Ruth, spending his time studying the map and imagining his upcoming adventures. He receives a letter from Trelawney informing him about the discovery of a ship named Hispaniola and its crew, including Long John Silver, who has been hired as the cook and helped assemble the crew. After Trelawney suggests that Jim spend some time with his mother, he returns to the inn feeling homesick. The next day, they travel to the bustling port of Bristol, where Jim meets Trelawney and inquires about the sailing date, discovering that they will set sail the following day. Trelawney sends Jim to meet Long John Silver at the Spyglass Tavern. Upon arrival, Jim finds the tavern crowded with rowdy sailors and spots Silver, who walks with a crutch, yet moves quickly despite his amputated leg. Jim presents Trelawney's letter to Silver, who welcomes him warmly. Events unfold as Jim notices the appearance of Black Dog, a suspicious character, and informs Silver. Silver expresses eagerness to track down Black Dog, threatening to throw him overboard if he gets the chance. Despite Jim's confusion, Silver convinces him that he doesn't belong to that category, highlighting his loyalty and concern for Jim. The three men gather, and Silver begins to share sea tales, causing Jim to regard him with admiration. They all agree to meet at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to board the ship. Dr. Livesey expresses his distrust of Silver, but Jim starts to appreciate Silver and his abilities. Everyone arrives at the port where the Hispaniola is docked alongside giant ships, meeting Mr. Arrow, the captain's assistant. Captain Smollett speaks with Trelawney and the doctor in the cabin, expressing his distrust of the crew and his negative feelings about the treasure hunt, indicating he senses great dangers ahead. Smollett requests precautionary measures, such as storing weapons and protecting the map from public knowledge. Trelawney assures him that he hasn't disclosed the treasure's secret, but Smollett remains wary of a potential crew mutiny. The doctor shows discontent with Smollett's approach, but agrees to take the necessary precautions. As they check the ship's condition, Silver and his men appear, opposing the modifications. However, Smollett insists on his authority, emphasizing the need for crew unity, which heightens the tension among the characters. Jim feels the anxiety and unease stemming from sea tales and the ship's atmosphere. Silver and his men sing a sea shanty reflecting the spirit of adventure, but these cheerful moments conceal the rising tension aboard the ship. As the journey progresses, one of the crew members, Mr. Arrow, is injured, forcing Captain Smollett to replace him with Israel Hands, a close friend of Silver's. Silver showcases his sailing skills, becoming well-liked among the men, while Jim spends his time helping him in the kitchen. Tensions rise between Captain Smollett and Trelawney due to Trelawney's adventurous spirit, while the crew enjoys a life of luxury aboard the ship, including a barrel of apples. Smollett believes this luxury may spoil the men. One night, Jim decides to enter the apple barrel to grab an apple. While inside, he overhears Silver talking with one of the men and discovers that Silver was part of a previous pirate life, raising his concerns. Silver speaks of a history of violence and deceit, and Jim begins to grasp the danger he is in. Jim feels terror when he hears Silver discussing mutiny, plotting to kill the captain and his companions. Israel joins the conversation, revealing a conspiracy against Captain Smollett. Silver exploits the crew's confusion, showing himself to be a seasoned leader in the world of piracy. The moon rises as the ship reaches the promised island, where Silver enthusiastically talks about his knowledge of the area. As the captain checks the map, he realizes Silver hasn't been truthful, as there are no clear markings for the treasure. Tensions escalate as Jim realizes the magnitude of the conspiracy. When Captain Smollett calls the crew to celebrate their arrival, Jim quickly rushes to inform Smollett and Trelawney about Silver's plans. Anxiety increases when it becomes clear that there are many disloyal men aboard the ship. Thanks for watching. See you in the third part of Treasure Island.